This woman accidentally discovered her husband, who had been in a vegetative state for 10 years, was secretly doing rehabilitation exercises in the basement. In anger, she turned on the gas stove. However, what she never expected was, the gas explosion couldn't even harm David. David had long seen through Lucy's tricks, to deceive Lucy's eyes. He had made a life-size model that looked exactly like himself, to fake his death. When David discovered Lucy tampering with the gas, he had already guessed what Lucy would do next. Everything was under David's control. David placed the prepared model on the bed, making Lucy believe it was him lying there. The clever David even put their wedding necklace on it, to eliminate Lucy's doubts. When Lucy saw the familiar necklace, she didn't have any suspicions, but the massive destructive power of the gas still blasted David hundreds of feet away. However, Lucy, who appeared ruthless on the surface, seeing how she had put her husband in danger, felt a twinge of guilt inside. But Lucy had no time for sorrow. She needed to return to the company as quickly as possible, to create an alibi. The raging fire at the villa attracted firefighters. David's mother, looking at the sea of flames, first reaction was to rush in and save her son. Such is a parent's love. She couldn't bear to watch her son being consumed by the flames. When Lucy arrived at the burning villa, she transformed into an Oscar-worthy actress. She dramatically acted as if she wanted to go in and save David. Even if she couldn't save David, she would perish in the flames with him. This moving tale of love almost had me convinced. Meanwhile, David, who survived the blast due to the massive impact, had his entire face burned. Despite the pain feeling like 1,000 arrows piercing his heart, he couldn't go to the hospital, because if Lucy discovered he was still alive, he couldn't imagine what the vicious Lucy would do to him. David, who survived death, watched his family's distress, and looking at his severely burned face, he blamed all this suffering on Lucy. Meanwhile, Lucy hadn't stopped her plans. She wanted to be the heir to her husband's estate, to take all of David's assets. However, the property administration office told her all of David's assets had already been donated. It seemed David's fortune was out of reach, so Lucy turned her attention to David's father's assets. At the company management transfer announcement, Lucy presented a forged transfer authorization, successfully obtaining control of David's company. His father couldn't believe David would give the company to Lucy, but faced with the evidence, he could only fume in anger. Meanwhile, David, to escape his past life, and to better counterattack Lucy, he determined to get complete plastic surgery, becoming a new person from head to toe. After surgery, David endured post-operative pain day and night, but whenever he thought about Lucy's betrayal, this pain seemed insignificant. Revenge against Lucy became his reason to live. When David unveiled his face, he couldn't believe the handsome yet unfamiliar face was his. He admired this new face again and again, while also determining to use this face to properly execute his plan. Upon first seeing David's new appearance, Lucy fell in love with him at first sight. This was exactly what David had wanted, and Lucy's nightmare was about to officially begin.